If you're building with AI, you know you're not just dealing with lines of code. Nope, you're dealing with a massive, massive tidal wave of data. And the real question isn't just, hey, what can this data do for me? It's how on earth do we manage all of it safely and effectively? Well, today we're going to dive right into that. This is your complete guide to AI data governance and privacy.
This right here, this is the mantra. Right data, right place, right time, safely. Think of it as the North Star for anyone, and I mean anyone working with data. It sounds so simple, right? But getting this right is what separates the runaway AI successes from the cautionary tales. And that last word, safely, that's where the real challenge and honestly the real opportunity is.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? AI models, they are data-hungry beasts, and the stakes have just never been higher. So how do we take that ideal and actually make it real? How do we build a system that's not just incredibly powerful, but also responsible? That's exactly what we're about to break down. To get there, we absolutely need a plan. We can't just wander into the data wilderness and hope for the best. What we need is a framework, and it's built on 4 essential pillars that give us the control we need to innovate, but to do it safely. Let's walk through them. First up, you've got to classify your data. You have to know what you're dealing with. Is it super sensitive customer info, or is it public data anybody can find? Knowing the difference is, well, it's everything. Second, control access. Look, not everyone on the team needs the keys to the entire kingdom. Who gets access to what? It's all about the principle of least privilege. Third, define policies. These are your ground rules, your rulebook for everything, from how long you keep data to how you get consent from users. And finally, number 4, select your vendors. Any partners or tools you use have to play by your rules. It's that simple. This 4-step process, that's your roadmap.
But hold on, before we even start building on those pillars, we need a rock-solid foundation. These are the non-negotiables, the things that you absolutely have to get right from day one. Let's see what they are.
And it all starts right here with PII. That stands for Personally Identifiable Information. Basically, it's any piece of data that can be traced back to a specific person. We're talking names, emails, phone numbers, you name it. Protecting PII isn't just a good idea, it is the absolute cornerstone of building trust with your users. Get this wrong, and you're in for a world of hurt. Okay, so how do we protect it? Through these 4 core actions. PII handling is all about setting up the who, what, and when of data access. Redaction, that's the tech that actually scrubs sensitive info from your data before an AI model ever gets its hands on it. Think of it like a digital black marker. Logging creates a paper trail, a digital record of every single interaction with your data. An audit, well, that's where you go back and check the logs to make sure everyone is actually following the rules. This right here is the bedrock of a secure system. All right, so we've got our pillars and our principles. That's the why and the what. Now for the fun part. Let's get practical. How do you actually do all of this? It's time to open up the toolkit. This is where the rubber meets the road. See how each one of those big principles we just talked about is tied directly to a concrete tool? That principle of PII handling, you put that into practice with policy templates. The need for logging every interaction, that's handled by things like private gateways that watch all the data coming and going. And that ability to audit, well, that's made possible because you have incident playbooks ready to go. It's a straight line from the big idea to the everyday execution.
So let's just quickly recap what's in this toolkit. Policy templates give you consistency. They save your team from reinventing the wheel every single time. Private gateways? Think of them as your digital security guards watching all the doors. And incident playbooks are your emergency response plan, your break glass in case of emergency guide. Together, these form a really practical defense system for all your data.
After all this talk about rules and policies and toolkits, it's really easy to see governance as a burden. Something that just slows you down. But let's reframe that. The ultimate goal here is something way more strategic. And here it is. This is the key takeaway. Good governance is not a blocker. It is an enabler. It's the very framework that gives your teams the freedom and the confidence to innovate because they know they're operating within safe boundaries. It completely transforms risk from a scary threat into a managed strategic advantage. And that brings us to the final thought. At the end of the day, your AI is only as good as the data it's built on. Its quality, its safety, its ultimate success, it all comes down to the governance you have in place. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Is yours ready?